Who do you have in the NBA Finals? Who you putting your money on? Because you can take.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
You in for a treat. On State Champions Podcast, we talk about people, politics, community, and culture. And what would a podcast be? With two great friends, former high school teammates, current coach, former coach B, without us discussing sports. I'm your co-captain, Raphael Peterson, and to my left and to your right, my friend, my brother, co-captain George T. Ward. How you doing, boy?
Man, you know I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Man, everything going outstanding. Again, if it's your first time tuning in, I think you should know on State Champions Podcast, our tagline is one thing. It's always a celebration.
Always.
And tonight, we're celebrating three people. That's two in the building, one by way of California.
Yeah.
Listen,
West
Bakersfield,
Coast.
California,
West Coast.
Foothills High School legend,
Mm-hmm.
former Boise State Bronco, Arthur Charles,
Yeah.
father of Austin Charles, who just got drafted by the Kansas City Royals.
Absolutely.
19-year-old doing a great thing. Brother Art, how you doing? How you doing out there in Cali, man?
Hey, doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You sound like you look like you in that backyard, boy.
Hey, man, we spent timeless hours out here in this cage getting it in.
Oh, I already know. When I came out to Cali, man, he dead serious about that crab. That's in his backyard. They got a real batting
We got
cage.
a batting cage in the backyard.
Real batting cage.
He's serious about it.
Serious
Hey,
about
you
it.
stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, right?
Huh?
You stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
You ain't got to get ready. My man for sure. And to my far left, to the viewer's far right, this lady needs no introduction. In the Cooley family, she's legendary. In the city of Detroit, unspoken. Listen, the state, she's worldwide. Listen, Lakita, the coach Gantz, she is an educator. She is a mom, the mother of Robert Davis Jr., who is attending UMass this fall, doing great things.
Yeah.
Doing great things.
Yeah.
And the brother to my right,
Yeah.
he don't need no introduction
No,
either as well.
no.
Now, this brother here, a longtime assistant, Tom Izzo. I call him the great Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
Many years. But this brother here, he's at the helm of Western Michigan men's basketball. His first year doing his thing. DJ Stevens, how you doing?
I'm great, man.
Man, I'm glad everybody's here. So everybody's doing good. What's going on with y'all? How everything going? Keita, you start off. You're the big lady in the
I'll
house.
start off. So currently, if you didn't know, I live in Massachusetts now. I live in Springfield, Massachusetts. I moved back in February,
Mhm.
primarily because my son is going to UMass.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
did not live. I don't live right next to him. I live 30 minutes from him. I live in the city because I was not going to the college town.
Okay.
But just people may say, "Oh, well, why did I follow my son?" Well, first of all, he's the only child.
Mhm.
I was moving from Detroit anyway,
Mhm.
so why not go somewhere where I can still save money
Uh-huh.
and I can go to home games and away games? You know what I mean, without flying from both or to and from both. So, and the other part is, NIL is real, and I want to make sure that that's not something that he has to focus on.
Oh, that's a great thing. That's great. Great. Brother DJ, give us something about yourself that the people don't know that you want the people to know.
Oh, it's interesting. And when I was pulling up, I grew up around 6 blocks from here. So
Okay.
This is my old neighborhood. I told you, I make a few noises. Some guys may pull up on you.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you all welcoming me into your podcast. I think what you guys are doing is a beautiful thing. So appreciate you having me.
Well, we're glad you could be here.
Yeah.
Brother Art, listen, I don't think everybody knows, but me and Brother Art, we went to Boise State University, way out west,
Idaho.
1988. And when I got on the campus, him, Brother Chris Childs, another guy who went to his high school, Foothills, and a guy named Archie. We always had a great time. Hey, bro.
I lost you there. I don't know if you can hear me, but I lost you there.
Didn't hear the first question.
Yep. Well, so listen, G, before we get started, what I want you to do, because I know it's going to be a lot of questions, comments, and people going to want to ask a lot of questions. They may want to give some comments. Can you make sure that you give them the number for everybody to call in?
Y'all know the number. You need to know it. 313-314-8400. That's 313-314-8400, 8400, in other words.
Oh, G, let me ask you this. Who's this episode sponsored by?
Episode is sponsored by is Bigger Than Athletics. Tagline, it's an opportunity to impact the world. It's an opportunity to impact the world.
Well, let me ask you, with this organization, who are they targeting?
We're really, targeting parents, middle school, high school, college, and even professional athletes. So, kind of influencing the influencers, so to speak. So, you're trying to target these parents and the opportunity to educate them on various subjects, things outside of just the actual field or the actual court. So anything that the parents may need to know and they want to know, because again, in most cases, this is uncharted territory for them. So it's an opportunity to educate them in any way possible.
Make sure y'all go to itsbiggerthanathletics.org and you can find out more information about that. So let's get this show started. I think I got a question first, and I think we got to get started with this. So obviously it's the NBA playoffs are going on. G, you was talking earlier off the mic when you talked about your great predictions. But I'm not gonna let that was last year. We living in the moment. We living in the moment. Last year's gone. You know that, right? So what we gonna do, we gonna get it started. We're gonna start with Keita. Who do you have coming out of the East?
Oh.
And who do you have coming out of the West and why?
Oh my God.
You don't have nobody?
I'm a KD fan, but I'm also a Westbrook fan. So it's hard to choose between the two.
Okay.
But I am thinking that one of those two will actually make it to the Western Conference Finals because of star power and just because the guys who are
Wait a
really
minute,
good got a chance to rest.
Keita, the question was one out of the West and one out of the East.
Whoever wins between the two that's playing, so Phoenix or
okay, she backing down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like one of them got to win. Like, okay, they both had all the stars resting. So the new NBA is the stars rest during the regular season, and then they just play for the playoffs.
Okay.
That's what it is. And the East, I like Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie, I like Cleveland. Like that boy over there getting it done. So I would take Cleveland just off the humbug of not picking Boston or Milwaukee.
Okay.
Brother Arthur, hopefully that technical difficulty is out of there. Who you got coming out of the West and who you got coming out of the East?
Man, to be honest with you, I don't even think it matters who come out the East.
Oh,
I'm just gonna put it out there like that. I think the Suns gonna win it all. I'm a Laker fan, of course, and I don't think you can look past them. Playoff time, it's kind of hard to beat them with the names they have in the series. So
okay,
but I think the Suns coming out.
Brother DJ, who you have coming out of the East and out of the West? Just really quick.
Man, out of the East, before the playoffs started, I would have said Milwaukee, but after watching a couple games, I think Boston's playing as well as anybody right now. They look pretty tough. And then the West, I think the West is,
tough.
I mean, you can make the argument that Sacramento is playing the best right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Draymond, Golden State, I want to pull for them. I want to pull for Memphis, having Jaren and X. But if I gotta pick one right now, I would say Clippers.
Okay.
I think they're playing extremely well, and PG come back. I think it's going to be a problem.
All right. Before he said PG. Now I'm gonna tell you, if it was me and I was coaching, when Paul George came back, he would play with the second string. I'm just throwing that out there. He would play with the second string.
I'm not going to say that.
No, he would have to play with the second string because they're playing too well, and then it would allow him to come in and just do his thing.
Yep.
All right, so G, who you got coming out of
Hey,
East?
hold on. When
What's
you
up?
say you're going to play with the second string,
Second
he's going to be
string.
out of a job.
Yeah, you can't even you can't do that in the league, man.
But hold on. If I win, DJ, and we win the championship, would I keep my job? They're gonna fire me in the middle of the
Maybe
playoffs.
he'll let you do
Hey,
it.
but
What?
And he came off the bench.
but as soon as PG come in,
and then he
hey,
got
soon
back.
as PG get back, Westbrook gonna shut down.
Yeah.
What'd you say,
I'm
Art?
just saying something.
Hey, as soon as PG get back, Westbrook gonna shut down.
Wow.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm
He
afraid
ain't gonna
of.
show up.
That's a great
Yeah,
point.
he ain't gonna show up.
I'm worried about that. I'm dead serious. When I'm looking at the game, it allows Kawhi to do his thing. They know who they're going to in that with that first unit. But when Paul George comes back, the problem is he holds the ball too long for me.
Yeah.
And I would just let him play in the second group and say, do your thing. G, who you got coming out of East and the West?
You know what? I really believe it's going to be Boston again. I kind of like their mindset right now.
Yeah.
And then out west, that's tough, as everybody has alluded to. I'm gonna be honest, man. My prediction was absolutely correct this last year. I believe that the Lakers have a shot. I'm gonna tell you, I believe the Lakers have a shot for what they have put around. If AD comes to play, they got a heck of a shot. But if I just had to really say
The Lakers?
now,
But go ahead.
the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Los Angeles Lakers.
All right.
You said, I mean, you just said PG should come off the bench, man.
So I'm telling you.
Hey, Art, man, get your man. What, man? Come on, man. So I think out west though, I really like what Phoenix is doing, but you know that thing's a toss up. So I would not be shocked if the Clippers went though. I would not be shocked.
All right. I'm gonna get on record because I'm not gonna back around and be at Clippers coming out of the West,
Mm-hmm.
Boston out of the East.
Yeah.
So now who do you have who's going to win it all?
If it's the Clippers, Boston in 7. If it's the Lake Show, you're probably looking at the Lakers probably in 6.
Man, you don't follow rules. You have to pick one team. So now you have 2 teams coming out of the West.
No. I really believe Boston will win the championship this year.
Okay. All right. Keita, who you have?
All right. So if I
Those 2.
between those 2,
Yes.
But Boston and
because you won't pick it. You
ain't gave us one off neither side.
I did. So you're saying between Boston and his pick, or
Yeah, Boston
and LA Clippers or Lakers? Which one?
Let's go Clippers.
Okay, Clippers. So for me, this is my only thing about Boston.
Okay.
They're playing really well, but as the pressure gets more and more and more, I don't know how much they're going to perform.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
my thing with the Celtics. So I think a West Coast team is going to win it. I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that.
DJ, who you got? Who would you take? The winner. Now we can't be backpedaling, going back and forth. Y'all got to make a decision here.
I think that Tatum and Jaylen Brown ready to take that next step, and I'm gonna go with the Celtics.
Okay.
All the way from Cali. Who you going with out of Cali, brother? All right.
Man, I got to go with the Clippers.
You gonna go with the Clippers? All right. So he's going with the
Clippers.
Clippers. So all right, we're gonna do something really, really quick. We haven't talked about this though. We got to talk about this because I saw this earlier. Draymond Green situation. We have to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. So now it looks
in the room.
in the room.
We got the coach here with us.
That's DJ.
That's
DJ.
I forgot about that. No, I swear I forgot all about that. I swear I forgot about that.
Man, they said they got some footage.
We cold.
DJ
I forgot about that. D, I did, I swear.
In the auxiliary gym, they said they got footage, man, of DJ showing Day how to do that kind of stuff.
So think about this.
Oh man.
I think that the Warriors are done, but it didn't make me a difference if Draymond was playing or not. Here's the greatest strength of the Warriors is the guard play in terms of Steph and Clay.
Yep.
But that's their greatest weakness.
And Jordan.
But Jordan is too sporadic for me. But those 2 guys are not defensively sound, and that's what's going to get them beat. I think they're in trouble, and they turn the ball over too much. So going back to the Draymond situation, everybody said he should have been suspended. I'm going to tell y'all what I think right now. He should have been suspended, guaranteed, without a doubt. What do you think, G?
Well, I think he definitely should have been suspended.
Okay.
Because you could have reacted better. And because, let's be honest, the track record.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And he's been kind of teetering the line, in the playoffs, the first couple games during the season, etc. But also to piggyback off that, Sabonis should have been suspended there. So he literally grabbed his foot now. So if we're gonna say cause and effect, you know what? To grab somebody, I can't remember too many times seeing somebody grab someone's foot like that in the middle of a play. So I think, Day, kind of got a suspicion.
Gee, he grabbed his foot. He didn't pull his shorts down, man. Come on.
You can't grab nobody's foot. Well, if that's how you're going to react to it, then Draymond should be playing games.
Right, because you think about it. It's your reaction to whatever happens. You respond. You got to be smooth. But like they said, I watched something earlier and they talked about. See, he is a repeat offender. Should you be judged by your previous offenses? In real life, that's what happened. So, Keita, what you think?
So I'm gonna bring out my restorative practice.
Uh-oh. See what she restorative
for
practices.
me, the consequence was that he was ejected and could not play the rest of the game. For me, that's the consequence. You're doubling down on the consequence. And that's the part I don't like. It's like I've already gotten, what I was supposed to get because it was a flagrant 2. Flagrant 2 says you get ejected. Yeah, now this is the first time I will say that of all the things that Draymond did, I was like, dang, Dre. But he got the consequence already. So
Okay.
I don't understand that, and that's my problem with it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Brother Art, what you think? Should have got suspended? Because we're gonna leave this last to DJ. I know what I'm doing on here. What you think, Brother Art?
Yeah, I think Sabonis should have went ahead and got a T. He should have been ejected for holding him, but that don't give Draymond the right to treat him like a trampoline, though. You know, he bounced on his chest, jumped up dramatic, and I think the thing that did him in, when he celebrated afterwards, talking about I love this shit, you know, and all that. I think that did him in. He put a little extra on it. And I think the NBA looked at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so obviously, and I'm telling y'all, to the viewers, I don't want y'all to think this. I really forgot that DJ actually know the guy.
He don't just know him. Yeah, he just know him. He don't just know him.
Okay. So, brother DJ, did you see the game? We got to get the correct questions. Did you actually see the game and see the incident?
I saw the game, saw it live.
Okay. So, should Draymond have been suspended?
Well, I think I agree with Kita. He was penalized when he, had to sit out or he was ejected from the game.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think that was enough. The other thing that I would say, and that's my guy.
Yes,
so,
sir.
I think when you watch it in slow motion, it looks worse than when you watch it. I saw you play. If somebody grabbed your leg, you kicking them.
Yeah,
like
sure.
you go kick, try to get your leg loose.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I think that's what he did.
Uh-huh.
Now, the step on him as he's running back down the court.
Okay.
I can't speak on that.
Mm.
I do think that, the aftermath and playing it up to the crowd.
Yeah.
I think that's what really hurt him and did him in.
Okay.
But I did not think that he should be suspended. How do you react? Any player that I've ever been around that is a competitor,
Okay.
somebody grabs your leg, what are you going to do? Just let him hold it?
Yeah, no, you're going to yank it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. All right. So one more question about the NBA. Well, I got a couple more questions. Who's the MVP? Embiid or the Joker? Who you have, DJ? We'll start with you.
For me, I love the fact that it's two big fellas.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for me, I think right now Embiid is playing another level. I don't know how you stop him.
Yeah.
He's shooting the ball from the perimeter
That's
at
crazy.
a high level. He can put the ball on the floor, and he's just a massive human being. So for me, it's Embiid.
Okay. G.
Embiid.
Brother Art, who you have for the MVP?
Hey, Embiid all day.
Okay. Keita?
I got Embiid too.
Oh, so it's consensus. I had Embiid as well because I looked at some stats and I was like, wow, I didn't know he was averaging that many this season. But I would go with Embiid as well. So, all right, let's move on. We're going to play. This is new on the show since you're here.
Uh-oh.
A quick round of Would You Rather.
Okay.
All right. All right, Brother Art, would you rather be a great scorer or would you rather be a great basketball player?
You said a great scorer
Yep.
or a great basketball player?
Or great basketball player.
That's kind of tough, man. That's kind of tough. I think I'd rather be a great all-around basketball player.
Mhm.
Through that, you're gonna score. You may not get the 30 or 40 a game, but I think I can get my 25 still and get away with it.
Okay. Keita?
So, of course, the correct choice, I'm not going to choose that one.
Oh, man.
No, because why?
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
So I'm going to say great scorer.
Okay.
Because I always taught Robert that if you can score the mother ball, you going to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I taught him that from when he was little. As long as you can score it, you're going to be able to play.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. G, because you still coaching?
Hey, G got to be careful with this answer.
But I'm gonna let you go ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach.
As I look over here at your own coaching trophy over here. I see why she didn't send my nephew to me. But anyway, I believe that the player, it's funny. I ran down a list with my players the other day. I said, listen, there are a lot of statistical categories in this game of basketball.
There you go.
Now, we place so much emphasis on scoring the ball. And ultimately, you got to score the basketball to win the game. I ain't tripping. But you have got to impact the game, and you got to look and see, okay, how can you impact the game in other ways? And you can be great at doing it. And scoring is a bona fide skill.
Yes.
You can do some things to impact the game. And if you can really pass the basketball, make the right plays, rebound the basketball, be a hell of a defensive player, those are things that you can do. And if you're a great basketball player, you're going to score the ball some anyway. So I just take the overall play, without a doubt.
Yep.
Coach, what would you take?
Oh man, I want to coach great players.
Okay.
I think I'm kind of with Keita a little bit though. I want my son to be a great scorer.
Everybody.
And let me look, just FYI, he got both. So I'll be okay.
All right.
When you got coaches of parents, sometimes you can do both.
All right.
No, it's funny because having been in college basketball as long as I have, I'm always amazed when you look at the national rankings, the McDonald's game.
Yes, sir.
Great scores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got some great players in there, but those guys are great scorers and they are ranked where they are because they can score the ball.
Indeed.
And I think they get to college. That's kind of when they start to, maybe learn some of the other parts of the game. But to be a great scorer, you got to, I think that two go hand in hand. Yeah. So I want to coach great players. I want my son to be a great scorer.
All right.
So y'all want to hear from the real coach? So when y'all think about this,
He called in.
y'all think about this.
You want me to talk again?
Yeah. So here's what I think. So here's an example. Y'all think that the first game of the series with the Clippers and the Suns, Westbrook was 3 of 19.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he single-handedly won the game.
No question.
Because that's that great basketball play.
Yep.
And I promise you, when I was watching the game, I'm thinking, wow, Westbrook it proves that you don't have to be a great scorer. And of course, we want all those intangibles, but to have all those things in one person, it works very, very well.
He plays so hard.
And he plays so hard.
Hey, that's why I love him.
All right, so
Hardest playing player in NBA.
hard, he very, very hard playing.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Would you rather be the man on the losing team? This should be easy. Or a role player on the championship team?
Ask Keita first.
Okay, we asked Keita first.
A great role player on the winning team. So
Okay.
I teach him that. I teach my son that part.
All right, brother Art, what you say?
Man, I'm all about the winning team myself.
Okay. I think this consensus, what you say, G?
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I was. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. Coach,
Yeah, I was the same. I was a role player, but I gotta have that championship.
you gotta have that championship. Okay. All right, this going
No,
because it's automatic for me. Listen, winning team. I play a role on the winning team. I played a role on the winning team. I had to score the points. That's why you passed it to me. But
George, you gonna take that?
here's the last one. This is gonna be tough for some of y'all fans out here.
here
Would you rather have LeBron taking the game-winning shot
Oh my God.
or Mike taking the game-winning shot? And I don't want to hear no philosophies about making the right basketball play. Who would you rather have taking the winning shot?
Oh, the game winner? Mike.
Okay, Mike, Keita,
Mike, you know I'm Mike.
Shot. Mike.
Art.
Can you hear?
I didn't hear. I heard LeBron. I didn't hear the other name.
The other, Mike Jordan. Who would you rather have taking the
I heard
winning
LeBron.
shot? Mike or LeBron?
Oh man, I'm going with the GOAT, the real GOAT, MJ.
MJ. All right, my man. Coach, what you going with? Oh, wait a minute. Go ahead.
I'm going with Kobe.
Hey, now we talking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
West Coast, baby.
Nah, listen. It's funny.
But I like his answer.
They had something on, I think it was ESPN somewhere, and they asked 103 players who was the GOAT. Mike had 60%. LeBron had 33%. They only had Kobe with 6%, about 6 or 7%.
Wow.
Yep, I saw that today. So
that means that all it means is that either they asked a bunch of old people or they asked a bunch of young people.
look at Hickey, listen at this teacher. She analyzing the data.
I'm just saying.
She analyzing the data. So no, they don't. In your generation, they don't. You're not doing
Hey,
it.
half of them voters never even saw Mike play.
So now we gonna get to the best part of the show. I think this is what everybody's tuning in for.
Yeah.
And how to create value for your student athlete. I think this is very, very critical. So, and we're going to toast to the people that's here. So, G, we can get started with that. You know what you're doing? Don't shoot me in the eye. So, we're going to start with my man, DJ. Can you, or you just want, what you want? Water, champagne? He knows. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. He says, little champagne in the city, because you take too long. You be all day. So, when we think about it on the State Champions podcast, again, if it's your first time tuning in, it's always a celebration, because in this time and in the day, we always find some negative things that happen.
Absolutely.
So we got to celebrate the good things, all the good things and everything that everybody's doing. And for the young people,
do this for a living.
Oh yeah, you do this for. Oh yeah, do this for. I do this for. I could
It
be
was
a
real
bartender.
simple.
Yeah, George, he was struggling.
Yeah.
I was struggling.
He needs some. George needs some Tito's. Do we got some Tito's in
I'm
here?
good, man.
Tito's will be good. He gonna give you that.
Thank you.
And so, what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna pass out anymore. Y'all got to get y'all lips. Well, I'm gonna drink out of the bottle. No, it's like I'm just.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna grab one of these. I don't think I have another. But so when you start thinking about this, brother Art, we'll talk to you first about your situation, your son, Austin Charles.
Yeah.
Austin Charles was recruited out of high school by the Kansas City Royals. Can you explain to the people what you did to create that value for your son?
Well, the first thing is he had to realize his own value himself. So what it boiled down to is me telling them, well, all my kids, not just him, that if you take care of business in the classroom, I'll do anything and everything in my power to give you every opportunity to do what you need to do, to reach all your goals and your dreams. So, with him carrying a 3.8, most of the time 4.0 every now and then, I felt like he, took care of his business. So that, of course, forced me to do my part. And that's when I put the cage up in the backyard. Got him with the proper trainers, and then we traveled all over the world. We were Florida, New York, you name it. Like, we were on the road pretty much every weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's a sacrifice on the parents' part, but it's a even larger sacrifice for the kid, because he had to understand that, although your boys are playing basketball in the front yard right here, and we get ready to leave again, and you can't go out there and hoop with them right now, there's bigger things coming your way. So he had to understand that, and he had to buy into it. Okay. But he had great grades, so, I had to do my part. So.
Oh, man, that's outstanding. Again, when I was out there in California, and I went through the house, and we went to the backyard, and I saw the batting cage, professional. I said, they dead serious out here. Q, do you have the picture with Austin with the kids, or maybe it's a video? I wanted to share that because you didn't get the video. Do you have the picture with him with the kids, and they had a camp and he was smiling? Well, we probably can get back to it. I emailed it to you, but because I want to show that. But we're gonna move forward to Kita. And Kita, now obviously everybody knows the love you have for Robert Davis Jr. is incredible, but it's no different from any other mother around the city, around the country. Right. So, Kita, what did you do to create that value for your son to get him to where he's at today?
So it's funny that while Al is talking, I'm like almost in tears because Art is talking. I'm thinking about just me and what we've done for Robert. And it's almost the same. Like it's what he said. I hear it clearly, and as he's talking, I can see it. You know, us, catching flights 8 weeks straight from Thursday night to Monday, and then like him doing homework in the airport, getting off that plane, going straight to school. Me just knowing that he was serious, right? So as long as I knew he was serious, him taking the academic part and saying, you know what, when you got a kid in the car because he know he want to go to practice and he's doing the homework on the ball. And he understood first the academic piece because he knew if I didn't do this, my mom not gonna let me play. And I feel like if I could like share that part with any parent, it's almost like what they're gonna do what you tell them and make them believe.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's hands down. If you require it and you let them know you can't do A or B without A, it's gonna go. So academics should never be a problem, because as soon as they miss something because they didn't do this academic thing, they're gonna get it together if they really want to do it.
Yes.
But like
Absolutely.
I think about the academics, and I think about I knew he was going to flourish at something because he did basketball, football, basketball all at the same time, and sometimes, you know. But the one thing that I really wanted to add value is like, if this doesn't work, what else can he do?
So so Keita, and so obviously we know Robert. There was a picture up there on the screen with Robert. What I liked was that he was with those group of kids. But what I love about what he was doing is the smile. And we have a picture of Art's son out there with a smile as well. But because you have to love what you're doing.
Yes.
Indeed.
And you're doing it with a smile, because I'm sure that when college coaches come, and we'll let DJ talk to this, when they come, they want to see all facets. What else are you doing outside of basketball to create that value? And your son had the Shooting Stars camp.
Yes.
Art's son, he did, I think one summer Art was telling me that his son saved his money, or saved about $1,000, went and bought toys for kids and gave them away at a YMCA or whatever it is out there in California. So those things are big. And I think a lot of parents should know that you have to post these things. It's not being braggadocious.
Yeah. No.
I think you got to show that your son is just better than an athlete. He's just not an athlete. He has talent. He has other things. And I think that's very, very true in both situations, which y'all both have done. So brother DJ, from a coaching lens, when you're looking, I know you just said that you need talent, but what else are you looking for as a Division I head coach in a young man that's coming to your campus?
Who was sponsored by today? G?
Oh, it's bigger than athletics.
Bigger than athletics.
There you go.
Bigger than
There
athletics.
you go. So I think that is the that's the whole piece right there. You know, when we go to these tournaments, the AAU tournaments and things, I think you can learn a lot about a young man or a young lady and how they treat their teammates, how they respond to coaching, how competitive they are.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, do they take pride in their defense? Do they do the little things? And it's funny. I like to watch them when they got the jerseys over their shoulders or back or neck, whatever you want to call it, and they walk in to the van to go back to the hotel, and you see who is interacting with everybody and who's kind of off to themselves, because when you get a kid on, you want him to engage his teammates and be a part of the team and help create the culture that is a winning culture. And I think that all those things play a little bit into that. So I look at all the things that a guy does when he's not in the game. Is he cheering for his teammates? Is he excited when a teammate gets a basket?
Yes.
You know, does he celebrate with his teammates, or does he make it all about himself? I think those are all important things.
Oh, absolutely. So everybody, if you have any questions, comments, 313-314-8400, call in 313-314-8400. And I forgot to do this, G, because how many people you have on Facebook that follow you, that you're friends with?
Wow. How many people?
Yeah.
A couple thousand.
Keita, how many you have?
I have
Right about 5,000.
I have 5,000 on one page, and on the other page I have about 2,000.
So
I have like 8,000 Instagram.
So here's why
a little time though.
No, here's why I'm saying that, because we bring in great information, we bring in great guests, and I think that our IG page should be blown up. I think everybody should go to State Champions Podcast IG page right now. Follow us, man. Make sure you follow us so we can continue to do what we do, and then go to our YouTube page and make sure you subscribe, because we have to keep this going. We have to get, you know, sponsors and people to come in so we can have great show, but also have great information that is absolutely good for the community. Go ahead,
this is valuable information. I think the crazy thing about it is there are a lot of parents who need to know.
Yeah.
And not only that, the student athletes, they need to know. To have DJ just say what he just stated. You know, the intangibles, you know, everybody fits into a box, okay? You know, If it's a 2 guard that averages 20, there's 4,500 others that average 20.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing outside of scoring the ball? Are you a great teammate?
Mhm.
Are you a wonderful player to coach?
Yeah.
And that's some of the things that we have to talk about. And parents, you need to know. So pay
So
attention.
just to add to that, since we're talking about what you said,
Mm-hmm.
during my son's recruitment, one of the coaches that came to see him, he came in, flew in, came to a game, and then maybe about 2 days later, he called us. And he said, I came to the game to see a shooter, but I left the game seeing a really good player, be a really good teammate, play through all the nonsense of the selfish plays.
Mhm.
He was, supportive of his teammates. He said, I didn't know that I was going to get such a good character of a kid on
There you
top
go.
of the fact that he can shoot the way he shoots.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I preach that to even when I was a coach, though the little things, because somebody's always watching.
Yes.
And as you get older, somebody's always watching to give you that next real job.
Absolutely.
And that's what I preach, a lot about.
Okay. Absolutely. So, G, go ahead. I thought you had something.
No, not right now.
But when you think about all of those things, and I'm looking at when I see kids and I'm in the gym watching the game, I'm always watching if they losing, and if they lose the game, how do they respond to that adversity? Because it's not going to always be peaches and cream. So what are they doing? And I think that's that character part of life and what sports does for us.
That's why we got to influence the influencers, right?
There you go.
That's why you have to influence the influencers. So the parents strike so much pressure. That ride home is a son of a gun.
Yeah.
And what we don't talk about, I see kids, or if they miss a shot, you see the parents, damn. I very rarely see a parent when that child misses a box out say anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See,
Absolutely.
I don't see parents when the child doesn't take a charge. I don't see the parents say, damn it, you should have taken a charge. They talk about, man, you should have shot it. Man, shoot it.
Thanks.
But they don't talk about the other things. So that is coming from the parent. The kids want to win. The kids want to cheer for their teammates. But the parents are influencing how they think. And that has to change.
So what could be done? I guess that would be my question. What could be done? Should we have more parent engagement, or do we limit their engagement with the team? What do we do to combat that?
Wow.
So I think sometimes it's just a matter of a little experience.
I would say,
I think-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead,
yeah, I think it's just sometimes about the having a little experience and growing as a parent. Because I know with my first son, when he got drafted, he went and played for the Blue Jays. He go 0 for 3. I was on the phone, man. Damn, 0 for 3. Oh, come on, man. Like, how you doing? And they got to the point where he was like, man, like, I don't even want to interact. Like he didn't want to talk. So I had to learn. I learned through my first son not to make that same mistake. So now, as my other kids continue to play, I don't call them on a great day. I don't call them on a bad day. When I call them, I don't even talk about baseball. It's just like, hey, how you doing, kid? What's going on? Hey, we miss you. We love you. Everything good? That kind of thing.
Wow.
And one thing I've always taught them is, like, each time you go out there, you have to do something to make yourself stand out.
Yeah.
So you may have a 0 for 4 game with 4 strikeouts, but guess what? You made a heck of a play at shortstop. You played some good D. You was a good teammate. You talked, you communicated, you showed them kind of skills. So as parents grow and understand, it's not just about making 30 points every game and that kind of thing and not putting the pressure on your kids. I think they relax, and I think they play even harder, and they don't worry about disappointing us.
Mhm.
I can't live through my kids' eyes. I played hoop. I did my thing. Basketball was my sport. All mine were really good at basketball, but they chose baseball, and I respect that. And I think if we learn as parents just to respect what our kids want to do and push them and not try to break them and understand that they're human and they're going to make mistakes, I think that's when positive things happen.
Yeah.
So, Coach DJ, really, really quick.
Wow.
So, as a Division I coach, you're recruiting a kid. Are you, when you go to those games and you in those places, do you ever evaluate the parents?
Uh-oh.
You know what? It's funny because I'm gonna tell you a story
Uh-oh.
about a kid that's on my team, and I was still at Michigan State. I was going to see a kid play, and the kid that's on my team was on the other team, and his parents, his father and his brother, were in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
And I left the game and I called Western Michigan. I say, man, y'all may want to, rethink that one.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
And, just because of how they act, I fast forward 3-4 months, I get the job. I go and meet with that parent right away. And I tell him about that game. And he was like, yeah, and we had unbelievable relationship we have now that I have with this father and his kids. But his son, he didn't know what was going on during the game. He just playing.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely look and watch parents and how they react, and how supportive they are of other players, and do they cheer for the other players while the game's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing worse than going to a game and the team that you're watching is up, let's just say it's a close game. A player that's not that parent's kid makes a big three, everybody go crazy, and that parent just sitting there.
Right.
Just sitting there. It's like, come on, man. Is that really what I want in my program?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that we are truly a family, and I believe that parents should be involved. Kita, you raised your son for 18 years. When something goes wrong, you should be able to call the coach. The coach should be able to call you. If you and the coach are on the same page, then your son has a better chance of being successful.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So my quote is, and this is phenomenal parent of an athlete, rule number 1. You ain't never going to be happy when you're only about your kid.
Wow.
Hold on. Kita. But no, Kita, say that again.
You ain't never going to be happy when you're only about your kid. And I specifically, I love talking with parents because I won, right? My son grew up, it was a lot of us as far as the moms and dads that we all kind of stayed together. So I know how important, first of all, the village of parents are. But I'm like you, especially when you said that one parent that you see everybody going crazy for this kid, but you sitting there looking like there's nothing happening. Something's wrong with that. And I think parents, I like what Art said, because this is in my book. I haven't mentioned that yet, but the part about I'm one that believes that for a basketball team or a coaching team, the team goes as the coach goes.
Yes.
I believe that the kid goes as the parent goes. And you have to grow just like they'll have to grow. And if you don't have that in mind as you're parenting, whether it's parenting the regular way, parenting for sports, you have to grow too. You can't stay in that one space and expect them to just be, no, we all have to grow here. And I think that's the beauty of my book that I'm writing, my experience that I have with my son. I saw people talking about the kid with the substitute teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's talking about how parenting is and you shouldn't be your kid's friends. Well, I'm my son's best friend and he's my best friend. But there's a boundary that he knows who mama is too. But that's because I've done all the front work, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
So I think, we all can grow as parents. And when you're set in your ways, then I think things kind of go back and forth, and you and your kid go back and forth.
Yeah. I think like Art said, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Art made a hell of a point. He learned from, what happened with his first son. Now the rest of his kids will benefit from that. But so many parents want to live through their children.
Yes.
I am the parent of an all-state volleyball player. My daughter, that's what she does. I'm supportive. I don't know much about the sports. If I know when they go, I want her to hit it hard as hell. And before she leaves, one of the things that I try to do is stick a little note in her book bag or whatever before she leaves for school, and be a good teammate. Listen to your coaches. Enjoy, have fun. Just that. Those are the things that I think we need to be preaching to our kids as parents.
Oh, now I'm gonna tell you, DJ. Now parents, y'all should take some notes on that because that's a heck of a thing right there. I just recall, and many years ago when we were playing at Cooley, and we were going to the state championship game, and my dad. If anybody remembers my dad, when you think about my dad was the man's man.
No question.
But I never forget the night before the state championship game. He came into the room. He said, son, if it's up to me, I would go a boxing 1 on Anderson Hunt. So I had my reasons. I told this story before on the show. I had my reasons why we shouldn't go a boxing 1 on Anderson Hunt because Southwestern had too many other good guys. He said, but that's just my own thought process. He said, I'm your dad. I'm not your coach.
Yep.
And so that allowed me to be free in games because I knew he was not going to be overbearing and overstep his boundaries. Now, my old dude, he could, but he just didn't. And he was like, no, Coach Kelso is the coach. I'm just your dad. And I think parents should take the advice that you're doing. Hey, stick a note in your kid's book bag. Tell them have a good day. Be good to the parents. Be good to your coaches. Be good. Be a good teammate. Those things are critical for total development of a kid outside of basketball or sports.
Be pleased with your child's conduct on the court. See, ultimately, okay, they're going to play well or whatever the case may be. But as the parent, you allow the coach to coach.
Yes.
You must look at through the lens as a parent. How is my child conducting his or herself all the time? And that's what's lost right now.
Yes.
Because of social media age and Twitter and everything else, everybody want to post Ralph scored 25 points. And everybody happy with that.
Yes.
But I saw Ralph cuss the coach out. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, wait, no.
That should be a conversation.
No, wait. Well, wait a minute. Don't use Ralph because that's a bad example. you better be clear on who you use. You got to say.
Well, of course, you've never done no stuff like that.
Well, use a James or somebody like that. Come on, you're giving me a bad rap here.
Close to home, man.
All right,
but the harsh reality of it is, I've seen players be so disrespectful to the coach, and then you realize where the disrespect is really coming from.
Yes. Yeah.
So as we're talking about this subject, y'all got to continue to educate the parent. You got to continue to educate the parent. And sometimes you got to educate the parent through the player. And you got to tell the player sometimes, hey, have a conversation with your dad. And that can really help because I know sometimes the players are frustrated with the conduct of the parents too.
Embarrassed. Yeah.
They're totally embarrassed sometimes. And we got to think about that.
So that topic is one of my chapters. It's in one of my chapters of my book. Which
hold on. Before you talk about your book, no. That's so Keita. Obviously, she can plug in there whatever she want to do on the show. She family. That's she family. But Keita, tell them the title of your book, and I'm gonna tell you what other book you should be writing. But go ahead, tell them the title of your book.
It's called Raising a Pro.
Raising the Pro. So here's what I want. I think you should just keep writing that book, but I think you should go back and say how to create value for an athlete. That's your new book. I'm telling you now, you did it.
But I feel like, so when you hear, let me ask you, when most people hear raising a pro.
I know where you're going. I know where you, okay.
They're thinking
I like this.
That's what they want.
That's what they want. Exactly. They're thinking about the pro athlete that everybody wants to become. But they're not thinking about all the stuff that we're talking about.
Yes.
All of the things that you talk about, the book is based on that.
Okay.
The book is based on the things you need to create the value that no matter what they do, they will be a pro at it.
So you're saying, and this is where I was going when you started talking. So creating a pro, but more importantly, a pro in life.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
That's it.
Keep writing your book. I'm gonna get some notes. Go ahead, keep going.
Be quiet.
Okay, I didn't know.
Hey, Art, give us some snippets in that book.
Yes, sir.
Man, because you've done it a couple times. You've done it, Art.
Yeah. I think I'm along the same lines as Keita because I'm just listening to her talk. And I think the first thing I would probably talk about is something in the book as such is being realistic. Now where you got me at was when you said, and whatever you do, become a pro. And I love that because there's so many parents telling their kids all day long, oh, you're going to be the next Michael Jordan. You're going to be this, you're going to be that. And I think that hurts a kid. I think you got to be realistic when it comes to it, So, and I think along with that, then you can manage expectations. So I feel the same way. So I just feel like everyone needs to know the sacrifices you have to put in to get to that level. Because it's hard work.
Hey,
You know? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Question, because I struggle with this sometimes, and you've gone through it, obviously. How do you define reality for your boys when you say being realistic without killing their dream?
I think the main thing is, I think with me being an athlete, I think it becomes easier for athletes, is that like we understand, we've kind of gone through some things and we've seen it. So my kids weren't always prospects, but I would tell them, hey, listen, man, you see how big that guy is, or you see how strong he is? I introduced them. I took them to college games. I took them to pro games. I took them places so they can kind of see what a real professional looks like, or a real college superstar looks like. I'm not trying to get the guy who is just on the team just sitting there not doing nothing. I want you to look at what a superstar looks like. And you got to understand the sacrifice that he put into his body and into his mind and everything else to get to that point. And you have to, I tell them, you got to be able to do something every day to stand out. I don't care what it is. Like I said, you're on that court, when you approach, like as a scout, if I'm coming to the game, I'm watching you get out the car. I'm watching you walk up. I don't want to see your mama hand you a bag. I don't want to see your mama give you Gatorade. I don't want to see any of that stuff. Are you an individual? Can you handle things on your own? You know, and just sacrificing and working hard is the main thing. And I just tell them, I mean, put God first all the time. Put God first and just work hard. And whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And that's exactly what I tell them. It's going to be. So I said, but if you sit here eating Oreos all day long or you're not doing anything, then you can't expect to be a pro. You know what you're going to get. You might go to the JC. You may go play some D2, something like that. So you have to sacrifice to get to where you want to be.
My man, I appreciate that.
I'm not a pro now, man, because I like the Oreos.
Me and you both.
Hey, Art.
Yes,
that man over here again, man, because he don't gain any weight. Well, he don't gain a couple.
Exactly.
But because he a little thin, he gonna always try to kick in with some big jokes, man. Tell him look like you had a couple Oreos today. You ain't hearing them.
Man, look, man, let me tell you something. Ralph came out here. I'm looking at him like, man, you look like you can still go hoop. You know, I'm looking like somebody's granddad and dad right about now. I paid my dues. I did my thing. Hey, it's over with now.
Yeah.
Ralph still look good.
Yeah, that's my man. So, and I think, Gigo, I think you had something. Go ahead.
No, I think you guys, we need to have this conversation more.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Not necessarily here, but we need to have this conversation with your friends and recognize how important this is, because our young people are suffering, and sometimes they talk to their coaches about it and they don't realize how much the parents are really hurting them.
And so I was mentioning about the parent who lives vicariously through their child.
Yes,
so that's in my chapter called Parent Holds, like households, but it's called Parent Holds.
How many chapters you got in the book?
So I'm stopping at 16. It's you can read in an hour. It's an easy read. It's easy read. It's self-reflective of the parent. It has a Bible verse in every chapter.
Okay.
It has a question in every chapter that they have to answer or write down, some things. So but the parent holds is about the houses divided. When you have two parents who are divorced, or two parents who live together. And
you're talking. That's a relationship.
I know this hit home.
That's a relationship.
It's necessary, like thinking about you got the household divorce, right? Or the parents is divorced, and they don't see the same thing.
Of course.
You got parents who live together, and they don't see the same thing for the child who's trying to be the pro, right? Then you got parents who living through the kid. Then you got the home sweet home. You got the one, that's perfect almost. And so when you think about all of it, no matter where it is, the two have to go together and work together for the kid to have the best success.
Yes.
And that's all the parents to understand. So whether you separate, whichever way, parent holds, which one are you? I want you to identify which one you are and then get to the last one.
Okay. Real quick, Creed, because we have a call. Caller, are you on the air? What's your name?
This is D. Kearney.
Okay. That's Derek.
D. Kearney, what's up, man? Listen, the Supreme Court, baby. Now they did it. As a young fella, I always heard the Supreme Court. They got the judge locked up. I heard it all. But what's up, D. Kearney? What's your question? What's your comment?
Now y'all got a great topic going on, and that panel, that's a legendary panel there. DJ, what's good, man?
What's happening?
Long time.
Yes,
Peter,
sir.
congratulations on your son.
Thank you. You were there.
G.
when he was
Ward,
drilling
congratulations.
through
You're a Hall of
garbage
Famer,
cans.
G. Ward.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, Karen. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, Ralph, you're doing a great job, man, as the middleman right there on the podcast.
Yeah. If I let G do it, he'll always talking about what he did a long time ago.
So I just want to real quickly say, you know, by me being a former ball player and parent, my son got a chance to play for two gentlemen that's on that panel there. You know, Coach Stevens when he was at Michigan State, and of course when he was at Southeastern with G. Ward. So that's an honor to be calling in to see two guys that my son played for, and the topic being about parents. You know,
Yes.
so shout out to y'all for that.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
No,
How
Kern,
you been, Kern?
you breaking up, Kern.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
18.
Hey, I got one question before I get off, man.
Yes.
Y'all notice you know I'm a former hooper turned promoter, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all know this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, right?
Man,
I
hold
knew
on,
you was gonna
Kern.
go
No,
there.
Kern, I'm not exaggerating. When you asked your question, before you asked it, I was going to say, Kern, when you bringing the hip hop guys into the basement,
You gotta have Rakim down in the basement, dog.
Hey, well, you know, me and DJ used to talk hip hop all the time. Remember those days, DJ?
Oh, yeah.
Follow the leader.
So look, I got to get down to the station, man, because we got a big show coming up in July, and I know a lot of the ball players from around the city is going to be there. And you know, we getting ready to do a celebration of the 50th most distinguished Detroiters that represented hip hop. No matter if you was a former athlete, a rapper, DJ, promoter.
Wow.
So you got guys like yourself. Everybody on that panel is a hip hop head. Y'all love basketball, academics in school, but y'all are a hip hop head.
No question.
So I'm trying to see how we can get on it and talk some hip hop and basketball one day.
Oh, man, you know, we're going to put that together for sure. Because when you called and I said it was D. Kearney, I already knew. And I saw the 50th anniversary because I'm figuring out I got to get down there on the 15th of July.
No
But
question.
when you called in, I was like, no, we got to get them in the basement. We got to bring some people on the show. We'll put it together for sure, Kern.
Let's make it happen. Hey, before I go, I need every one of y'all, since it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I need y'all top 5 rappers of all time before y'all get off your show.
We can't give you no top 5 rappers. So I'm listen. I'm gonna give you my fake. Okay, now I'll give you 3. I will give you 3. Man, this is tough. But I'm gonna get, man. KRS-One is one of my all-time MCs because of the knowledge that he kicked. My guy Jigga, I got to have him.
Yeah, I know he's gonna go there.
Then, all right, then you gotta have Big, my notorious Big. Come on, we gotta have that. Then you can't leave out Pac.
Nope.
Then, but it's other guys like Nas that you can't leave out. So that's my quick top 5 that's off the top of my head. G, what you have? Real quick.
I can't argue with those at all. Yeah, I can't argue at all.
Yeah, I can't either because your 4 is my 4 for sure, and I take KRS-One or Big Daddy Kane any day.
Okay. DJ, it's tough on you.
No, I would agree with your top 5. I like Nas. I like Lil Wayne too.
Ooh, we say Lil Wayne. All right, so we're gonna move out to the West Coast and let's see what he has for his top 5 all time real quick. Now listen.
I swear, man.
Now, Art, I know. So real quick, y'all.
NWA.
Because Art has to go. I know it's his son's birthday, so he's gonna have to go. But give us your top 5.
Man, that's kind of tough one right there. I got to go with Tupac.
Yeah.
Got to go with KRS-One. I like Nas. Would it come down to really flowing doing their thing? Cube is kind of nice. You got to give Cube some
Yeah.
credit. You know, I don't know, man. That fifth one for me is kind of tough.
Okay.
I like big.
Okay, you could go big. All right.
Go big.
And you can hang out with us, continue to hang out with us, but if you can't, I know you got to go because it's your son's birthday and you have to do this family thing, but we appreciate you on. Can you hang out a little bit longer?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I think I got to roll out, but one more thing before I go is the other thing we got to look at for our kids is also are the coaches that they have in high school, because these coaches sometimes don't know. They don't promote you. They don't do what they need to do. They don't do their part.
Yeah.
So that's why we take our kids to these events, and that's why we got to speak on their behalf and be able to watch and do that thing and network for them. Because if we don't do it, sometimes it doesn't get done.
Oh, absolutely. And I forgot to do this. Art is also a scout for the Kansas City Royals as well. So he's doing great things out there in Bakersfield, California.
Thank you very much.
Tell the wife I said hello, and I'm coming out to the West Coast real quick here in a couple of days. But I got to go to Vegas. I'm going for the fight. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna call you. Hey, hold on, wait.
Hey, my house is your house. You already know. You good?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, early birthday to you, because I know your birthday coming up, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's Friday.
Yes, sir. I know when your birthday is.
Yes, sir.
My man, peace out. One love. I love you, boy.
Appreciate you,
Love
baby.
you too. Hey, thanks for having me. Nice to meet everybody. Hey, I got to get that book. I'm excited. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, y'all stay blessed.
But hey, Robert Slack, I see you shouting out baseball, man. What's up with you, man? Glad to see everybody tuning in too, making their comments. K Marsh, Bridgeport, one love, baby.
What else you see up there, G?
Man, Rakeem Bill, my former player, tagged in. Willie Rogers, the chill factor. Good seeing you. He been talking to Keita all day.
Hey man, we gotta stop giving you the bubbly, man. You burping on air, man.
I ain't burped at all. It's a hiccup. I had the hiccups all day.
Once you hit you on your back,
Still growing?
Yeah, I'm going,
still growing.
not vertically.
So no, let me add this in there because I think this is very critical for parents. I just remember when I was coaching, and obviously once the kids made the team, and I don't know if you're doing this, DJ, or not, but because it's probably a little for college kids, it's a little different. But what I would do once the kid made the team, I had a parent and players meeting, and I would come out and I would tell them, here's what's going to happen. Here's the expectations. I would set them out, and I would tell the parents, if you act a fool in the stands, I promise you, I can't technically do nothing to you, but I'm going to get rid of your kid because eventually he's going to act a fool against me. It's just a matter of time. Now, I had a couple of kids who they were embarrassed, like y'all said earlier, but I always set that tone early on, given what the expectations are for my high school parents and my high school players throughout the year. Do you guys do anything similar to that on the college level?
Wow.
For sure. I think that's something that I stole from Coach Izzo because he does that every year.
Wow.
We bring in public safety. We bring in the tutors. We bring in anybody on campus that our guys may kind of rub shoulders with, and we make sure that everybody knows, parents, kid,
nice,
coaches, the expectations, and we give the parents a chance to ask questions and let us know what they want and what they expect, and then we can argue and make sure that we leave and everybody, kind of like I said, because if we're on the same page with the parents, I think the child has an opportunity to be even more successful.
I like that part. The part where you also listen to the parent expectations. I always think about whether it's the player, the coach, and the parent, or there's the teacher, the student, and the parent.
Yes. Right.
Everybody should be able to know each person's expectations. I teach teachers now. Kids come into the classroom, they don't expect to go to school. They don't like school. So if you never asking them what their expectations are, then you don't even know what who you teach it. Yes. And so it's all important, and it all goes together.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. So DJ, is there a difference in terms of did you have a coach on the high school level or anything? So can you, what's the big difference between high school and college when you're dealing with that parent? And from my lens, I think it's this. I think that most parents like college, my kid going to the pros. High school, we're just trying to get a scholarship.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the difference? What's the big difference?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I would also say that you can still kind of mold who that parent or child is a little bit and their expectations of what they want to get out of basketball.
Yes.
A little more in high school. Once they get to college, I think is, that they already started that race and they trying to get to the finish line. And it's a little tougher at our level, but that doesn't mean that we're trying to impact and let them know how they can be even more successful.
You have another question? I got some good stuff with DJ y'all ready. So DJ, first year at Western Michigan. I'm gonna tell you. So now Western Michigan, great school. What is your coaching philosophy? What type of offense do you run? Now you want me to give you my pointers on what offense you should run?
Hey, man.
I can use some pointers.
Okay, so here we go. I'm glad.
Oh my God.
Don't take nerve and G. This hear me out. So here's my philosophy on it.
You don't want to take none from Ralph.
Now just hear me out. Just hear me out.
You spotted.
Check me out, DJ.
This is that G.
Who is this? This is Ralph's Blue Division Championship trophy that he won up at St. Timothy, man, or Greater Grace.
So DJ, let me tell you what my nickname was in the PSL. Mr. TJ Maxx. I got the max for the minimum. So here's where I'm going with this story.
That's a Kelso.
So there you go. Hold on.
Stop. Hold on.
No, we don't need you.
No. Wait a minute. So I got one question. Me and my man,
come on, man. Let me
39 years. I've never heard anyone refer to you as that.
I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Right.
So wait a minute.
I'm gonna tell you.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Did you come up with that nickname? Who gave you the nickname?
I'm gonna tell you, this is the craziest thing. So what happened since you asking the question? So what happened?
Really, they was calling me something like that, man. Because really, look at what I had. And I was
see how everybody want to jump on the train.
He
can't let you do your own thing. Let me do my thing. Let me just do my thing. It was a couple of referees. They was like, man, you getting the max for the minute. You like TJ Maxx. Yeah. I figured my man shopped at TJ Maxx. So that's a whole nother story. Yeah. So here's how I see it for mid-major conferences. Mm-hmm. I remember the Butlers of the world when they had that great run those years. Because in most cases, the only time a mid-major is going to get a Mr. Basketball, and this is prevalent to this conversation, if they transfer in after they've gone somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So here's my philosophy. On the mid-major level, it's ideal, in my opinion, you have to make players better than what they actually are. Okay? Mm-hmm. How you do that? You run the motion offense. So you run the motion offense and you have players in spots. I'm telling you, you have them in spots. And when they're in spots, they know exactly what the other player is going to be. Now, you can spread it out or it can be tight. Because on the mid-major level, you got to be able to run offense, make players better than what they are, and you have to defend.
DJ just got fired.
No.
Because see, listen, right now, Rabbit makes sense what you're saying. Right, Mo, he talking specifically.
That's why you know shots, G. Because that motion offense, he
listen.
Hey,
listen.
No, that's not what happened.
Hey, listen.
Here's why reason why.
Rab, I'm gonna say this to you, and I know this for a fact. Okay. And this is tough, and this is why I don't give players really. Man, and you think he's gonna be able to be in college and talking about, man, everybody getting 12 shots a game?
Well, I know that's true. But see, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is not going to be a lot of shots because when you don't have better players than the other side, I got to limit the other side shots. So I got to make sure I shoot very high percentage in the game, mm-hmm. and the kids that take the shots can make the shots.
That's
from
DJ
spots on the floor.
Does not burn pain, man. He not burn pain ain't coaching Western.
My man, burn pain. That's my man.
Listen, but I'm telling you, GM, I'm just telling you, this is free. I'm not going to send y'all no build up at Western, but I'm just telling you, run some motion offense, put kids in spots, and allow them sometime if they're good enough to break off the offense when the shot clock going down. Gee, you got some information, but you probably don't because you ain't won enough.
I'm discombobulated after you hit me with that, man. I don't even know. I don't even know what to think, man, right now.
What kind of offense you run?
Various offenses. I've been fairly successful, man. So we're not gonna get into me right
All right,
now.
okay.
You and I can't talk coaching.
Okay, all right. So DJ,
love it.
DJ, tell me what offense? Because now you have a.
Well, you guys, he don't know. We can't comment on that yet.
Okay, so you have some. Okay, we won't do that. What type of offense do you run up at Western Michigan University?
Well, I think right now, when you recruiting and you look at high school kids and kids coming out of the portal,
Yes.
everybody wants to get up and down. It's so funny when you get them on campus and you practicing and you
Yes.
running,
They looking like
they don't want to
I
run
gotta get
as
in better
much.
shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So you got to. They
Good point.
say they want to get up and down
Until they know what
you
getting
want to
up
get
down.
up and down. It's not happening.
Okay.
So we want to play fast. We want to maximize our possessions. We want to make sure that we are shooting a high percentage. But I'm probably more along the lines of G, where I'm gonna emphasize that defense a little more than the offense.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
that's
think
good.
I will look at it. B artist, he should be playing this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've done a heck of a job considering everything last year. I know you're looking forward to it. Early prediction, of course, you're always shooting for the stars. Where do you think we're gonna land? I'm saying we loosely. Look,
if we win the championship.
yeah. Well, no, I ain't no bandwagon guy, man. You know I roll with your brother coaching D1.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we with you. No, for sure. When
With
you got the job and
Yes.
Corn
got the job. We celebrated it down here.
no, we celebrated down here for
Celebrated
sure.
down
So
here.
we definitely, when I was like, dang, we got a couple of brothers.
Come on,
Oh,
man. Stan
Corn.
Heath.
I was like, wow, this is nice. So,
Mhm.
but I think that what you're doing, I know you're going to build it up because you come from that claw of understanding how that defensive side,
Mhm.
but also understanding you have to be able to get shooters on the floor, people to make shots, but also great decision makers out on the floor.
Yeah. The one thing that I would say was the biggest surprise in
That was
moving
my
over.
next question.
Yeah, to being a head coach is something that G is known for. He has created a culture.
Yes.
And it is something like you understand what the King culture is when you walk through the door before you even make the team.
Mhm.
And that is something that I took for granted at Michigan State.
Wow.
Yes.
And that is something it was so strong that I didn't even realize what the culture was until I left.
Till you left.
And I didn't see it.
Wow.
And now trying to recreate that culture has been the hardest part of the job.
So let me ask you this. So obviously you were there. You probably helped create that culture as an
Indeed.
assistant.
Player
Yeah,
first.
no
So
doubt.
now you have your assistant coaches have to be those people that you were.
Mhm.
And I remember Kelso used to tell me, he said, Ralph, it's different being in a head coaching spot because you have to be able to allow other people to do the other work that you've taught them to do.
Mhm.
So now you have to find those guys to bring in kids that is going to mimic that culture that you want. Because if you don't have a culture, you have chaos in anything that you do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So who are the guys that's on your staff? Because I didn't look up that. Who did you bring in so far?
So the oldest member of my staff is Jeff Rudder. I
Mhm.
met him when I was in Milwaukee.
Miami, Ohio.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in
Miami,
Miami of
Ohio.
Ohio, but he was also, when I met him, he was a head coach at UW Parkside
Okay.
in Milwaukee at Marquette. And so we just stayed in touch over the years. He coached with my cousin at Iowa State.
Wow.
He's been to Drake. He's been around the block a few times. He is very thorough.
Good.
He cares about the kids.
Mhm.
It's funny, we go out to eat and he start writing on the napkin. If I
Yes.
say something, I'm like, man, what are you writing down?
Yeah.
and then we be in a meeting, he'll pull out his notes. He's like, oh, let me see. And the most important thing for me is he is a good person.
Yeah.
And he's
Yes.
somebody that I enjoy being around.
Yeah.
And that was the number one thing. I want somebody that on my staff that I enjoy when I go to work, I leave work, we go out to eat. This is somebody that I enjoy being around.
Okay,
and
cool.
all three of my coaches, I feel that way about. My other two guys are younger guys, Chris Fowler played at Country Day.
Yep.
Was a heck of a guard at Central Michigan, played overseas for a long time, made some money. He is going to be a star in the profession. I probably won't be able to hold on to him very long.
Wow.
And he is unbelievable at player development.
Yes.
He spends a lot of time with the guys, both on and off the court. And then Manny Dosanjh, he was a GA for us at Michigan State as well. And he's from Canada. I have 2 Canadian kids that he was able to recruit. I think that is something that will benefit us moving forward, but he is a good person as well. And all 3 of those guys have unbelievable work ethic. So when I'm not there, I know that things are getting done the right way.
Y'all have any questions?
Yeah.
I got a ton of them.
Well, you don't want to go too
I forgot. Flo did say I want to run that
Yeah.
flex. Flo, you know I want to run that flex. I ran it on Flo and it still didn't work. But I ain't had no players, okay?
So I think one last thing, Keita, what message would you have to our viewers, their parents right now? What's the last thing you want to get to them?
So mostly just, and because your topic is how to create value, I pretty much would talk about like all the other things that I've put my son in that he's flourished in. So specifically, let's just go with the modeling. He was trying on clothes because his coach made them dress up at Farmington. And as he was trying on clothes, and I'm saying this, you as a parent, you have to also be able to be a visionary for your children. You got to see things in them that they don't see in themselves. So he's trying these clothes on.
It's right there. It's right up on the screen. We pro around here, Keita.
Right. But see, that's the end result of this beginning of me. He's there and he's trying on clothes. And I was like, he would make a good model. I said that to myself. And then I said, if I get you in some modeling stuff, would you do it? He was like, well, I guess. Just so happened 2 weeks was coming. I looked it up. Barbizon was coming in 2 weeks. Took him to the Barbizon tryout. He made it.
Wow.
Flawless. He made it, right? So then what happens is once you make something like that, it's a lot of money. Okay. And a lot of money on your part. I did it when I was a kid. The only difference was my mama didn't have the money. Fortunately, I had a little something saved. So I ended up putting them in Barbizon. But what happens is we end up going to Hamtramck.
Okay.
Right. So now he's modeling, learning all these things. Go to Hamtramck. He only had 1 class his last year because mama did her job. He ain't had nothing but
one. Transferred to Hamtramck? No, just asking. I didn't remember that.
So he went to Hamtramck.
You left Farmington
and Hamtramck. All right, so
shout out to the Cosmos. Good stuff, buddy.
So he
how many times did you transfer?
That's a good question though.
How many times did you transfer in high school?
2 times. But the funny part about
don't listen to him. Would you tell your story? Because he's doing too much.
He goes to Hamtramck where he has 1 major class, which is English, and the rest he had electives, right? Of those elective classes, he had graphic design. That class turned into the clothing line that he's doing now.
Wow.
Gotcha. Now we had a t-shirt company, but that class, graphic design, he had creative writing, and he had entrepreneurship and accounting.
Nice.
All 4 of those electives tie in to what he's going to UMass for. So at UMass, he creates his own major. It's called the BDIC, where he can major in fashion. And then they'll tie in internships for fashion.
Wow.
Nice.
His ultimate goal is to he wants to make his own clothes with his hands. His own hands. He wants to make them. Wow. That's his dream. So out of that came photography. So you got modeling, photography. Now he's a fashion designer. He's a marketing piece all by himself.
There you go.
Those
Creating value.
Those clothes that you just saw.
Creating value.
I didn't call a person. I didn't pay her nothing. I didn't do anything. He did it all by himself.
Let me say, I'm gonna stop you right there, because that design right there, trendsetters. Man, those pants look like the state championship pants that we wore.
Yep.
What you talking about?
That looked like the tear-offs that we had, the stripe and the stars on the side. We had the stars on the side. That's what it reminds me of when we in the state championship game. But I want to talk about this, DJ, really, really quick before we get out of here, because we've been going a long time. But the NIL, how is it affecting your school, and what is it a benefit? Is it a gift? Is it a curse? What's going on with the NIL at the school? Because you have a kid up there, and I promise you, he my guy. The artist, man. I looked at his page, man. That son of a gun got 2 million followers, man. He doing a lot. So how does that affect you and your recruiting? Is that and when you look at their let's say they profile, you say, well, man, their portfolio. You say, well, it's a great kid. He's doing great things. He's saying the right things. Do you lean more towards that kid? And he has a skill set. Do you lean more towards that? But how does the NIL affect your school?
So for us, it hasn't come into play as much yet. It's coming. And luckily my AD is forward thinking, and we have a collective, and we'll be able to do some things for our guys. But I think NIL, man, I'm all for kids making as much money as they can. But with that, there are a lot of issues that these kids aren't being educated on, whether it be the taxes. This is a big thing that people talk about, like you have to anything. So it doesn't have to be money. Like people say, if like B artist goes out and he gets a car, a free car, he still got to pay taxes on that.
Yes.
You know, and I think there's just a lot of things that kids need to be educated on before just kind of diving in. You hear these crazy numbers when it comes to NIL, and I hope some of these kids are getting that money, but I hope that people are helping them and being responsible. I have heard a couple horror stories where I think NIL is breaking up families.
Wow.
There's a one kid, and he'll be playing in our state. He has an NIL deal. And his dad said, well, how much money are you gonna give me and your mom separated? So the kid, I thought, gave a great answer. He said, I'll give you, 800. I'll give mom 800. I'm gonna take 1,000, and then I'm putting the rest in the bank. And the dad
lost it.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the stuff I done for you and this and that. And I think that there's a lot of that going on where the parents think that they are entitled to this money. Like that is the kid's money. And so that's one of the angles. And I swear to you, because I know some of the people that I grew up with and played with, and the streets took care of some of us.
Indeed. A lot of us.
And now you see this money being made. I'm telling you, there is going to be a huge drug scandal at some point with NIL because of
NIL. And now, DJ, you going way deep. So go ahead.
With NIL, it's not NIL, but did you hear about what Luka and his mom are going through?
Luka, who's Luka?
Luka Doncic.
No.
So his mom, this is hearsay, but his mom has the rights to his company that she started before he became a pro, and he wants his company back.
Keita, if you do that, I'm gonna jump on your head.
I would never do that.
I was just making sure. Go ahead.
Listen, because Keita gonna have her own money. First of all, I got my own money. Let's be clear now. Okay.
All right. So
let's be clear.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So I heard that they're going back and forth because mom doesn't want to give him back, his name or his company, his brand, basically. Now who knows why? We don't know, but that's another thing that I didn't really go that far into NIL, breaking up families, and that's crazy. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, and in my book, the whole thing about sacrifice, when you're sacrificing, it is for someone else. It is for something else, and that's free. You don't get something back when you sacrifice.
Yes.
So I don't understand. They want interest.
So DJ. I have another question for you. How has the transfer portal hurt the high school athlete? Because when I'm looking at this big picture, and this is what this show came about, and me and Q and G, we talked about this, thinking in our heads, we're like, man, we need another show on such and such. And we said, how to create value for your student athlete. Because of the transfer portal, that was the original thing. How it all started. It's how we got here. And so, how does the transfer portal help or hurt high school athletes in terms of young people coming up out of high school ranks?
Well, I think it's definitely hurt high school players because he had a guy that was Mr. Basketball that goes, Division II, and some of that was COVID, and some of that was the transfer portal. I think it has taken a lot of opportunities away from our young kids coming up, and I say that everybody's trying to get older. You look at this year's Final Four, one of the craziest Final Fours, but Florida Atlantic and San Diego State were two of the oldest teams in the country.
Yes.
And end of the day, my first year, I had 3 freshmen playing major minutes. That's not how you win.
Okay.
And so I think you're going to see a trend of college coaches continuing to just try to get older and stay older. And therefore, high school students are going to suffer a little bit. I think you're going to see more kids that are qualifiers go the junior college route, prove themselves at that level,
play 1 year,
a little older, and then, transfer to Division I. And I think that is going to be where you see a lot of college coaches spending their time moving forward. There's a high school event this weekend. I don't know how many guys I'm going to send out just because I don't know if it matters for us. We're trying to get older. We are trying to, I took a high school kid this year, and I took 4 last year. So I still believe in you have to have some of that because you have to have some program kids. And I think you got to try to have a mix. So trying to find that balance between someone that's been in your program and growing in your program is going to help you keep that culture. But in today's climate, you got to bring a high school kid in and he doesn't play, he's probably not going to stay.
Yeah, and in today's climate, the difference from before is that guys stayed 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no longer whether they are jumping to the pros at the high majors or whether they are transferring out.
Yes.
Because so you don't get that balance anymore. That was the one thing I liked about when I was at Eastern, the Akron coach who's now at Duquesne.
Mm-hmm.
He kept freshmen. He kept the trend of seniors, juniors, so that he could bring in freshmen. But the world is not like that anymore, where you can have that culture. And it sucks because you got to be really, really, really good to be a freshman and go to college at a Division I.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
I look back, and if I had come out in today's climate, I probably don't end up in Michigan State.
Wow.
I may have been a junior college player. I may have gone to D2. You just never know. Like, I was a good player, but I wasn't a guy that was like a McDonald's All-American or anything like that. And he just had a Mr. Basketball go Division II. Yeah. I think that would be more of the norm. My class was your boy, Mike Talley.
Yes.
He was Mr. Basketball.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine Mike Talley going Division II?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
It
sounds crazy.
You can't even fathom it.
Yeah,
it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
But
absolutely.
What I look at, I still think that you have to have those young guys. And the only thing that I look at is with those guys who is transferring in. See, because their vision is on, I'm going to the pros. Mm-hmm. And most of the times, I think a lot of the guys who transfer in, they transferring out of the school because they thought they wasn't as good as they thought. Yeah. They probably a head case. Mm-hmm. Now they got to transfer to your school and they have 1 year left.
Yeah.
What? How do you fix that? How you create that balance? Yeah. And that's what I was looking at.
So I think that's a great question, but I think that you hit the nail on the head. We are trading problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. That's a great way of looking at it.
We are trading problems. And you just hope that you kind of done your due diligence and, have the support of the parents and the people, the coaches, that they grew up with, that you will be able to get through to them and hopefully get something out of those guys. But there's no question that we are trading problems when it comes to the portal.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you.
So do you think with the change that they just put in place where you can only do it one time? And I was thinking, it's like, you could do it twice, but then you have to sit out. So I was thinking, first of all, who's going to pay for you to sit out when I can just go get a guy at the transfer portal who got a year that comes straight to me? But do you think that will help it, or is still free fall because you still got everybody who has that one chance to transfer without a penalty?
Yeah. So I think that you will see coaches. I think it will help some because I do think I'm old school. I think that there should be a penalty because when kids are transferring, I think as coaches, parents, everybody, we are teaching them to run from problems.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to be able to run if you and your wife get into a fight. If your child gets in trouble at school, you can't run from that. So, there are going to be tough times. I look back to my freshman year. I saw my buddies. They were playing at other schools. I wasn't playing. I went in and I asked if I could be redshirted. They said, no, just hang in there. And eventually I started playing. But in today's climate, I probably would have transferred.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It's a tough job right now for you.
Tough.
So I'm going to say this on the air. We have brothers around here that's coaching that we know. I think that really a lot of kids should just be like, we going up to Western. Sorry.
Send them. We need them.
I know. And the ones who are not ready for D1, they should go to Brother Corn.
Yep.
Sorry, Michigan State. We're going to have to switch this tune. Sorry, Tom Izzo. But I just think we need to send them to our guys that we know and to help them be prosperous in what they're doing, coaching for a long, long, long time. Because what happens with our brothers who are coaches, they only get a certain amount of years. And it's because they're not getting the quality players. And what we're talking about is creating value for our student athletes. Just imagine the quality kids of a Robert Davis, my man Arthur Charles' son, who he's a baseball player. What if he's a basketball player? What if we sent 4 or 5 quality kids to Western Michigan with Brother DJ, who I'm absolutely sure on Friday night, some coach is going over to that dorm and checking who's smoking weed. Okay.
No question.
Who over here drinking?
Yeah.
Because I want to know if I send my kid to you, will you check him like I'm going to check him?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing. And let them know that here's who you should not hang out with. But I just think that we need to do a better job of sending our kids to the guys that we know, the brothers that we know across the country. Yeah. But now in the state of Michigan, I don't care what you say. And I don't want to hear, well, DJ didn't come to my gym. He wasn't breastfeeding the boy. He didn't buy him no champagne like on State Champions Podcast. He didn't do none of that. Man, listen, send them to Brother DJ, the Corn, if they Division II, because that's what we need. They need the support all the way across the board. And I know you have something else, G, and Keita, then we'll wrap it up because we got to get out of here.
No, just one last thing for me, man. I wanted to say what's up, Boomer, man. Glad y'all tuned in today. You had some great points, D-Boom. Good to see you tuned in. Everybody, thanks. DJ, seriously, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you coming out, man. Y'all. Keita.
You're welcome.
Sis, you know we love you, baby. CC crew in the building.
Yo, so Q with that, I think we out of here. So next week, I think we're going to bring in Robert Davis Jr. We're going to bring my man Arthur Charles because we want to hear from the kids who have sacrificed, who are looking at this thing as a stepping stone, if you will. How to create value for myself. And we're gonna get a couple other kids on here too. So it'll go down. We won't be drinking champagne when they come. So we know we're not a cold switch when we do our thing.
We know we're doing.
Q,
one love.
Oh, the Gatorade. Oh, he saw the Gatorade. He saw the Gatorade. We gonna do the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Q.